Don't be shy.
Keep them up so I can see you, and I'll bring the mic to you next, okay?
I was wondering who your favorite character you've ever done the voice for is?
I usually say that I really love doing Melody from The Little Mermaid 2. Just because, I don't know what little girl didn't want to be the mermaid, but to get to sing with Jodie Benson was really surreal, and she was so nice, like I probably could have died the next day.
Hi, so I recently bought Lollipop Chainsaw as well, and I also wanted to ask you what it was like to replay another blonde character after Bubbles, because I mean she also speaks Japanese a little bit in Lollipop Chainsaw. How was that for you?
I mean, Lollipop Chainsaw was like no other thing I've ever seen, and in fact when they first told me about the game, like, she saves her boyfriend's life by cutting off his head and wearing it on her ass. I was like, okay, I'm in. And then the dialogue was really crazy, which I don't want to spoil for anyone, but I'm like, you want me to say what? And it's really funny because during the recording, I usually look at my script and look at the stage directions, and I don't look up that much. And the director's like, why did you look at me when you said gonorrhea face? And I'm like, oh. It was fun.
Hi Tara, nice to see you again. I actually just have a quick favor to ask you. Would it be okay if we sang you a song?
Okay.
I think everybody knows it.
Yeah, I think everybody knows it.
Okay.
It comes from My Little Pony.
If you don't, then
Are
get
you
out.
all ready? I hope so.
I'm ready.
I'm the T to the W-I-L-I-G-H-T, and ain't no other pony trolling down like me. I'm Twilightlicious.
And just so everybody knows, my Twilightlicious helper Kelly's here with me today. And we brought some Twilightlicious swag that my friend Eric Bauza helped. He designed the logo. He's on Marvin the Martian, and he's Foop on Fairly Odd Parents. And 20% of all the proceeds are going to help Kiki. So she's got a whole bunch of fun stuff, so come see her at the autograph signing. And if you have any questions, wave, Kelly, wave to everybody. And that was a very good singing. Thank you very much.
Can you do an Angry Bubbles impression?
First I thought Mojo was an ice monkey, then I kicked in his face! I'm just as tough as Possum Buttercup. Hardcore!
Yeah!
If you had the chance to play the voice of any classic cartoon, video games, or whatever, which ones would you immediately jump at?
Ooh, classic, I'd have to say, it'd be fun to be on the Jetsons, it'd be fun to be Judy. Or one of the Flintstones, and then more recently, it would have been fun to be on The Simpsons, because that was a nice paycheck.
Hi, a couple of months ago I was asked to prom, but in a really cool pony way, and I wanted to know if you could read the Twilight part in her voice.
Okay, I guess.
What is it?
This one I have to
After
get
this, no more requests, please. We're gonna keep this panel simple.
This isn't dirty, is it?
Let me screen it.
Because I know it's on YouTube like 5 minutes ago.
How come it's all wet, weirdo?
Sorry, that was me.
Okay, this whole thing, that's what you want to read?
The Twilight part, please.
Oh, the Twilight part, where it says, but there's a small problem?
Yes.
Okay.
But there's a small problem. All the books say that it's customary for a mayor to have the date escorter to these kinds of things. But I don't have one yet, and the clock is ticking! Is that what you wanted me to say?
Yeah.
Did you say yes? Okay, good.
So, Tara, I've noticed that a lot of the voices that you do, a lot of the voices that you do are very high pitched and very loud. What techniques do you use to help conserve your voice?
You know, the high-pitched stuff doesn't hurt me. Like, when I was doing Terrence from Foster's Home, like, Blueface, don't be a dweeb! I was like, ow! It's the lower stuff that tends to hurt. But the higher stuff doesn't, it's just where I'm pitched, it doesn't hurt my voice. But like anything else in voiceover, if you're sick or you lose your voice, you're not working. And so the only thing I can say is if you're doing a video game and they're asking for a lot of screaming, that you save it to the end so that you can do all the dialogue first, because they'll always say, can we have like 10 more death sounds? You're like, you know, you're kind of dead by the end. But and if you've got like a singing thing the next day, you kind of want to time it around something that's going to be a lot of screaming. But the high-pitched stuff, it's pretty easy for me.
Are there any future projects are you working on that you can reveal here?
Well, you know, we just released that Teen Titans is coming back. And Raven is just as cranky with everyone as usual. And what else is coming back? There's a couple of things coming back that I can't say. And there's another thing that I did that I can't say. Oh, and there's another thing that I did that I can't say.
Okay, I've got a really good question. How did you start off, like, you know, like, what made you, like, you know, pick this career? Like, you know, what was your original plan, and what, you know, what kind of classes or stuff you had to take, you know, to reach this point and stuff? And now that you look, you know,
How many questions are there?
and if you were to look at here's the last one.
Okay.
And if you were to look at yourself from when you were younger up to now, like, you know, what would you say to yourself, you know?
Okay. The only one I know that wanted to be an actual voice for animation is Tom Kenny, SpongeBob, and Dee Baker, who's on every show. All of us sort of fell into it, being actors. I knew when I was 5 years old that I wanted to sing and act, and most of us are singers, which is important. You need to have a good ear so that you can copy accents and do impressions and be able to hear exactly what the directors are looking for. So my first animated job was Hello Kitty, and I was 13, and it was just another audition. I didn't even know that was going to be a career.
Hello Kitty's Fairy Tale Theater is proud to present The Wizard of Paws.
That was my first job. And then I did Beetlejuice and Care Bears and My Pet Monster and a whole bunch of stuff up in Toronto, where I'm from. And then I moved down here, and it's sort of the rest is history, like in terms of how I maintained that career. And I guess I'd say to my little self, keep making funny voices, because I always did. My sister and I had like a fake radio station, and I used to do like the voices of my toys or my pets. Like we had a rabbit, and I used to hold the rabbit to my sister and go,
I hate you! I love Tara! She's so cool!
so, you know, just always doing silly voices. So I'd probably say, keep that up, because that's going to work for you.
Yeah, could you give us, say, an impression of Gizmo?
Oh, from Titans?
Yeah.
I gotta think of something that I had said. I just did him. I'm trying to think what I said. I'm trying to remember what I said for you. I'll give you guys a little spoiler.
More spoilers.
I can't remember what I said. It was something weird.
I don't mean to not give you the spoiler. I really can't remember.
You've played a lot of different characters of all sorts of ages and voice types. How do you always make yourself sound like a different person?
Oh, that's a good question. You know, people always ask me, like, do you confuse it when you go to different jobs? And I don't, just because once I create a character, they live in my head. The only thing I can say is, when you have an audition, they'll give you a drawing of the character and a character description, and they'll tell you about this character, and then you'll get a small part of the script. And you kind of have to think what you think they want it to sound like, and then be prepared to be their Play-Doh and do whatever they want you to do. And then once that character is set, it just lives there. So if they say to me, can you do Timmy on this show? I'll say no, because Timmy already lives on Fairly Odd Parents. So I'll just tweak it a little bit to give it something different. And I remember once I was doing our Rugrats, and the guy drew Baby Dill doing some really inappropriate, crazy things. And he did it so fast that it was a great drawing. And I'm like, how do you do that? And he said, how do you do what you do? And I went, okay. It's just what I do.
All right, Tara, this question regards because I know in one of the Cartoon Network video games you did also the voice of Buttercup, and I think you probably voiced over for a lot of other people's characters. Does it ever feel weird you're doing doing a character's voiced by like another voice actor?
Yeah, I mean, when I took over for Harley Quinn, that was had some big shoes to fill, so that felt weird to me also because I was Batgirl alongside Arlene doing Harley, so I didn't want to disappoint her or the fans, and within the voiceover community, you sort of have to say, we want you to do this role, and it happens. I mean, other people have played Batgirl, so it's hard, but I just always kind of try to do my best and not disappoint anyone.
So have you done any voices for Japanese animation?
Like for video games or for TV
Or
shows?
is it mostly Western?
I've done some both.
Like,
Spirited Away and Final Fantasy, I guess you could call them. You should IMDb me. Yeah, I think I was Riku.
Oh yeah.
Hi. I just was kind of curious, like how you came up with the voice for Troubles, because like it's the voice it's your voice, that one voice that stands out along.
Honey, we got
They originally said they wanted it like from Carol Kane when she did Princess Bride, was it? Where she's like, yeah, whatever they're talking about. So I just copied her and then just made her a little bit more Yiddish booby. And just thought of her as a little bit fatter, I guess. I don't know, that's a fun show. I miss that show. I hear Nikki sounds so different now, so we could never do more of those. Unless we do like Nikki as a teenager, I guess.
I have a question about when you did Little Mermaid 2. What was it like working with Jodie Benson in that movie?
I did a lot of TV and film in Canada with a lot of big celebrities, and when I met her, I burst into tears because I loved her so much. She's like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "I just loved you for so long." She was so sweet, and when we were doing our duet together, she was just really gracious and looking at me, and she still calls me her daughter whenever we speak. She's like, "How's my daughter?" She was really sweet. I was just talking to someone yesterday who said that he had met his idol and slapped him in the face, and I'm like, huh? And he's like, you should never meet your idol. And I said, I disagree, because she was fantastic. She was really sweet.
I wanted to ask, hey, do you have a book fetish in real life, like your character Twilight Sparkle?
I wouldn't call her a book fetish person. She's just an egghead. No. I don't read that much. Twilight reads enough for both of us.
I want to know, I've practiced accents and voices and I'm kind of aspiring, but have you run into an accent that you absolutely could not do, or it's really, really difficult, you have to work hard on it? What'd you do if you did comedy?
If I don't know it, I'll call the area and talk to people and ask them, can you say this? And they're like, am I on TV? No. But one that I found really challenging was Cajun, and they asked me to do it for Zombie Moonscar Island for Scooby-Doo. And I was working with Jim Cummings, who's actually from New Orleans, and when everyone did their accent beside him, they decided that we all sucked. And so we became more like Southern, it's like a Southern French weird mix, so they just said, you guys be Southern and let Jim do the authentic Cajun. Okay.
You've done a lot of voice acting. Which of the people you've done...
I have?
do you think you relate to the most?
Ooh. Who do I relate to the most? That's a tough one.
Because I think there's a little bit of me in everything that I do, and same with all voiceover people, but I don't know. What do you think?
Princess Clara.
So much like Princess Clara? No, I don't know. Maybe Batgirl, just that she's cool like that.
Hi. So with the ridiculously active Brony fan base lately, is there any particular fan work, be it art, music, or anything that you happen to enjoy? Is there any?
I really like this. This is cute.
Aww.
She did it for me.
Obviously you all know that I'm working with John Delancey on the documentary. The thing that he was saying, which is so true, is that the Star Trek fans inspired a lot of science fiction stuff, and the Brony community has inspired so much art. And it really blows my mind how talented, how amazingly talented. Like, I couldn't draw this little star over her horn that you did. Like, they're so talented, and no matter what I put on Twitter, they draw for me in 5 minutes. I mean, I think I put once Twilight farts sparkles, and in 2 minutes, she was farting sparkles. And they're hilarious and they're talented. I love the Brony fan base, and you know.
We love you!
You know, I recorded Twilight Licious, but I also recorded Harley Licious and Raven Licious and Ben 10 Licious and Omi Licious, and Twilight's the only one that got her own video on YouTube, so I'm just saying, Brony's is a good fan.
Hi, what's your funniest story from the booth?
Ooh, there was a little girl that didn't know she could leave if she had to go to the bathroom.
Oh no!
And she was standing at the mic going, I'm doing it, I'm doing it, I'm doing it, I'm doing it. And I was like, wow, she really is. She was peeing on the floor. Probably one of the funniest. You could go to the bathroom and just put your hand up.
Where were you when you first learned about the Brony phenomenon?
On my phone? What's that?
Yeah, I don't remember where I was. Probably at my house at first. And this last year has been an education for me on Twitter. I wasn't even really active on Twitter, and then I was doing an episode of Big Time Rush, and Kendall said, "You don't Twitter?" I said, "No. I don't really get it." And I had 100 followers just because I had my name. And he said, "Watch this." And he wrote, @Kendall Schmidt hanging with @Tara Strong on Big Time Rush. And within 1 minute, it jumped to 500. And I went, oh, that's Twitter. And then I just, you know, when I started hearing from the fans, it's so nice as an animation actor, because prior to the internet and being able to find who does your favorite voice for what, we didn't know if people were liking us or loving us or what the recognition was. And when you've got a session and it's a game where there's like 800 lines, when you know that the fans are appreciating it, that gets you through. So having Twitter and having learning about how much love there is for myself and the other voice community is we're so grateful for it. And then, you know, I learned about bronies and rules. What?
Sorry. The internet is not for play.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Brains are people.
Can you tell us what role you're playing in Bronycon?
What role?
Yeah. What exactly will you be doing for the documentary?
Oh, well, we haven't fleshed everything out completely yet, but we are going to be focusing on the fan base and what's sort of bringing everyone together all over this planet right now, and you know, love and tolerance and friendship and acceptance, and sort of trying to dispel the myths that the media has portrayed of bronies. And I really hate the haters. I know I'm not supposed to hate, but just kind of to help people understand that it's such an amazing fan base. And when you see bronies coming together in this situation or any kind of convention, and everyone's singing and drawing and having fun, and just sort of hoping that the general public gets to see that and see how beautiful the community is. That's the main goal, really.
Hello. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous here. We asked Andrew Limit this earlier this morning, and we're going to ask you the same question like I am. Will you be, if they ask you to come to Equestria LA, which will be here in November, will you be able to go?
I don't know. I never heard of it.
Oh!
I don't know.
Gasp! Please, November 3rd.
Well, actually, so that brought, because he was asking my question, I got so stoked. Yes, November 3rd, there's going to, actually, they told me not to ask the voice actors. Alright, I'm sorry, Karen. But yes, would you please, alright, I'll change my question now.
The thing is, all of my conventions have to be approved through Hasbro, so I can't just go, yes, and then disappoint everybody. So whenever everything comes through, they go to Hasbro and they say, you can do this one or you can't do this one. Or,
It's in November though.
November 3rd.
I understand, I just don't know.
Not
November. What?
My question was, how was it on Lollipop Chainsaw to work with James Gunn and Warner Brothers in general?
I had so much fun doing Lollipop Chainsaw. I had a lot of fun with James Gunn. He's really hilarious. I don't know if you watched the behind the scenes stuff with the actors where he's telling me to try acting better. And it's nice to work with someone who has a real clear vision of what they want. And when you play the game, it looks like you're watching a movie. Like, it's so stylized. And I think that from where video gaming has started to where it's come to today is such a nice progression of giving the fans what they want in terms of the visuals and the acting and the directing, and he's a great director. We had so much fun. Like, we laughed our butts off and heads on butts and craziness.
Hi, you don't know me, but I love you. I was wondering, what was your favorite episode to record for My Little Pony?
Well, I do like Lesson Zero. And I did love the Candlelight Wedding. And I do love, oh, I can't tell you. It was a really fun episode that I loved to do. You'll have to wait. Sorry.
Hello. What's it like working with Kevin Conroy from Batman?
He's amazing. I think he's so talented. The first time I booked that show, my agent called and said, "You're her, you're the Bat, you're the girl that's the Bat, you're Batgirl." And I was like, "Oh my God." And it was, me and Mark Hamill and all these amazingly talented people, and I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna pinch myself a little bit right now. Because they're so good, and I just love working. I just saw him at the convention in Seattle for the first time in a long time. He's a good guy. It's fun.
Hi. Out of curiosity, you were saying you work for Hasbro. Do they give you the Twilight Sparkle toys?
Do they give me toys? No! I never get toys.
I was saying with the bronies, I made you this.
Oh, give it to me. That's my favorite part. See, she's better than Hasbro because she gives me toys. Did you really make that?
Yes, I did.
How come y'all are so talented? She's so Twilight-licious. Oh, thank you.
Anyone else? Kelly, you ready to suck some fans of her?
Thank you. Oh, sorry.
So, with the Hasbro on our minds, the whole Derpy incident, what were your thoughts on that?
Well, I actually have some thoughts and opinions on that. And I've actually spoken to Hasbro about that. So here's the problem. They love Derpy too, but there are members of the community that found it offensive and hurtful. So you can't make somebody sad, but then taking her off made people sad. So they're like, it's kind of a tough call on how to handle it.
Comic-Con, they're bringing, which surprised me, they're bringing out the Comic-Con exclusive Derpy figurine where they kept her eyes in the way that,
Like I said, they love Derpy too. They just, there's the community that gets it and isn't offended by it, and then there's parts of the community that are. So they sort of have to play a happy balance to not upset anybody.
They don't want to make people sad, which is good, right?
I was just wondering, how much of your own work do you personally own, in any media or whatnot, and do you ever find it odd watching yourself?
No, I like to watch myself. I think it's fun, and my kids they know all the shows I do, so they especially love watching Mad, because they try to guess which character I am. And when my older son was younger, he used to say, "Your voices are dumb." But then when he got to school, and they're like, "Dude, your mom's Ben 10, and that's cool." I was like, "Oh." And actually, just recently, I was at a school, and this little girl goes, "Mrs. Strong, are you Twilight Sparkle?" And I said, "Yeah." And she's like, "Oh my God, that's so cool." And then all these girls came over and wanted my autograph, and my son goes, "Mom, no cool." And the girl's like, "Yeah, your mom's really cool." But I don't own like, I don't make money when they sell toys. I don't own any of the actual property. I mean, you know, animation as a whole is a very collaborative world because we help create these characters, but then those characters are owned by whatever production company is showing the show.
If you were to be locked in a room with 2 of your characters,
Oh, there you are.
which 2 would you want it to be and hope it isn't?
Ooh. Who would you want to be locked in a room?
Princess Clara and 2.
That might be fun. Maybe I'll be locked in with Clara and Toot. Although if I'm locked in with Timmy, I could get some wishes out of me.
Yeah. Raven, see your parents.
That's true. Yes, little girl.
When is the new season coming out of My Little Pony?
I don't know, but it's gonna be really cute.
Good question. Whoever asked that, good question.
Excellent question.
You're my hero now.
She looks so cute. She got a little bro hoof over there.
Hello.
Hi.
I just wanted to know, when you audition for a role and when you get it, has there ever been a time where when you're recording the voice, the director that originally approved of your audition was just like, wait a minute, why don't we try and do something completely different? Has there ever been a time where you just had to fly off the handle like that on like, not even on your own thing, you were just told to do it?
Well, like I said, it's very collaborative, so sometimes if something's not working, they'll say, let's try it like this, or let's try it like that, especially the first few episodes. Like if you watch the first season of Family Guy, the first season of Fairly Odd Parents to where they are now, they're so different. So you sort of have to be willing to play and not take it personally if they're like, no. You know, Butch Hartman's really funny. People like offer some great voice. Carlos Alazraki will do some amazing things like, no. And he's like, you know, like they make fun of him like, he makes the actors feel so good. But you just kind of have to play around. It's never happened that it's been completely 180 different because they already have the character set in their mind and the drawings, and you can't have a little girl that sounds like a man, so it's not going to be that different.
Hi.
Hi.
Over here.
Oh,
Hi. I was just wondering, out of Tom Kenny and Mark Hamill and all the other different voice actors that you've ever worked with, who are the most interesting and entertaining to watch and to voice act with?
You're asking me to pick favorites?
Yes.
Let's see. I love watching Tom because he's crazy, talented, fun, and he always stands and does these funny things with his hands. Wait, that didn't come out right. And I love watching D. Baker because he's built weird, like he's from another planet, like there's 2 vocal cords going at the same time, and I'm like, what?